Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Cricket 19 career with me, Daniel. It's episode 32 and we're back today for the second innings of a first class match. We're facing Nottinghamshire and their experienced bowling lineup, and we're back because there's a certain interesting point in the game where we're chasing down a relatively modest total. So we're seeing if we can head to another unbeaten knock and build a sensible partnership and avoid the ill discipline which has cost us so many times by being tempted to attack balls that we really don't need to. So we'll be back to face our first ball in a moment, but let's go and have a look at the scorecard to see where the game is at the moment. And as I do that, I just want to thank everyone who continues to support the series and remind you that the last 3 episodes was a big saga involving our One Day Cup final, our first final at county level in fact, and it certainly was a very interesting game, so if you're not up to date then do go back and catch up with it. But we're just coming in for the first ball of our second innings towards the end of day 3 in this first class match, and you can see the position of the game at the moment. We need 113 in this innings to win. Harry Gurney's opening the bowling for Nottinghamshire. He obviously is an experienced pro, does the round in the T20 tournaments as a British bowler, so he really is quite a good player, and hopefully we'll be able to see him off nicely before heading our side toward victory. You can see from the first innings we weren't in the top 2 run scorers, but they both scored a huge amount of runs. We talked about Harry Brook, our opening partner, being under pressure, but he certainly put that rumour to bed with 121 in the first innings. Joe Root, the England skipper, got 170 before a few familiar names scored for Nottinghamshire. In the first knock it was Alex Hales off 48, and then Ben Duckett, who had a brief spell as England opener, with 54 in the second innings. That means we've got something to chase today. We've done pretty awfully with the ball as well. So in the first innings for Nottinghamshire, off 12 overs we went for 40 and didn't manage to take a wicket. Then when batting we did slightly better, a very quick fire 52 before being bowled by the very experienced Mitchell Marsh and caught off Moores. Then in the second innings we were with the ball again, this time only for 6 overs, but again went expensively for 21, not even the best economy in our team there. That award went to David Willey, who also managed to take a wicket. So we're back chasing 113 now. We've got ages to do it, so there's no need to be attacking, but we want to make sure we keep our discipline and play like Alistair Cook would. So we'll be back in a second to face the first ball as we hope to survive Harry Gurney's opening spell. Time for the first ball then, and already one of the problems from the first innings has been resolved. They kept sending the left armers around the wicket and it was causing all sorts of trouble for them. We sneak a quick skingle after a bit of a half-hearted appeal. It came off the pad, but it was certainly after the bat, and we managed to get through for 1 off the first ball. Again a pretty straight delivery, not much outside off in the first innings, and again it doesn't look like that'll be the pattern here as Harry Brook sees off 5 dot balls and we're back for the start of the second over. It's a short one that's wild outside off, so we leave that one through, and that's the discipline we're talking about. A wide given which adds another run to Yorkshire, just 111 away now. But again he switched back to over the wicket, and this is where we were getting so much confidence. It's a short ball outside leg, and although we swing and miss, it's probably going to be another wide. The umpire gives it, so that's exactly what we're talking about. 3 runs being given at all angles, and if he does connect with one straight, it's only going to rush away for 2 or 4. This one goes across us though, a little bit of a scare, and we've got to be careful that we don't get out early. Still only 1 ball faced in the over technically, as the first 2 were both wides, and this is a fuller one outside leg stump, and that's what we're talking about. There's no protection out there, so it's so easy just to hit boundaries or 2s, even if we don't connect with it perfectly. So if you're wondering why a conservative player like us was scoring up more than 1 a ball, particularly in the first innings, this explains why, as it was just like this with almost every delivery. They kept going short outside leg with no protection, and it allowed us to score runs pretty easily. So halfway through the second over and Yorkshire are 7 without loss, and we're feeling pretty comfortable at the crease already. Coughlin continues to persist over the wicket. This one's full and they're normally our favourites, but we don't connect well, so it's just a dot ball. And with 1.4 gone, we're still going well. There's no threat to our wicket though, other than that odd one that seams across, and they're few and far between, so we're likely to get another decent score. And we're still going at one a ball despite being conservative, and that one's a chance to nick an easy single. Harry Brook will get one ball before we're back on strike. 2 overs gone, let's see if he survives that last one, and maybe he'll even get off the mark as well. He doesn't, it's just a dot ball as Harry Gurney's back over the wicket. The left-hander hoping to cause some trouble outside off, a short ball which we just stuck out the way of. I'm not sure Harry Gurney's that quick in real life, but there's his one for the over already. So hopefully he won't persist with short balls, a problem that occurred in the first innings. Let's see what he does. It's short again, and we pull it away to the leg side, and with no protection that'll be at least 2. The fielder is going to cut it off, so it's 2 runs as we stay on strike. If you are enjoying the episode as we go along, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I really do appreciate the support with the series, and hope you continue to enjoy the content as we seem to be making our mark at county level. The same ball again, but we connect with this one perfectly, and it rushes away almost perfectly straight at a 90-degree angle to the leg side. It runs away for a 4. An easy start to the innings again, and with 2.5 gone, the chase is now under 100. 14 without loss, and again it's back on the stumps, and we flick away an easy single as there's finally protection on the boundary. Yorkshire 15 without loss, and Harry Brook still yet to get off the mark. 3 overs gone and Harry Brook didn't add any other runs. 2 more dot balls for him. It's a short ball outside leg and we edge it very slightly, but it still goes comfortably for 1 as there's no really well positioned fielders on the leg side. Now Harry Brook will surely get off the mark. He does, he's got 4 off 13, and we're back to face Harry Gurney's next over. Acres of space on the leg side, particularly through the mid-wicket region, so we are going to try and force a few across, but that first one narrowly missed the edge. Second ball of the over and Gurney will presumably go for the same again, but the short ball allows us to go to mid-wicket, just gives us that little bit less angle to work with, and as a result we're going to get another 2, and we'll retain the strike as Yorkshire move past 20. A brilliant start to this innings so far, and it looks like we've got no risk of not making the total, as the pitch is still in relatively good condition. I've no idea why they keep coming short. Maybe it's just because they've heard we're not very good against the short ball, but the way they're executing it is absolutely terrible, as this short one goes for yet another 2. There's no fielders out there, so why try and tempt us into pulling? If you're not going to have any men in catching areas, it doesn't really seem to make sense. So halfway through the over and we've added another 4. This one's slightly fuller, and we managed to connect with this one perfectly, and again it's to that vacant mid-wicket region, and I think it's going to trickle to the boundary. 4 more runs and Yorkshire on to 28, and we're now past 20, and again you can see our strike rate superb. Our average is 100 at first class level as we leave that one well outside off, and it looks like we're going to continue that today. If we stay unbeaten it'll of course rise again. Last ball of the over, which Gurney will tempt us with, but it's straight at the stumps and we play away, and although we were caught out slightly by the slower ball, we're going to easily get through for 2 again, largely due to the lack of fielders on the leg side. So Harry Brook on strike as we go in at 6 and over, and it's almost like a one-day chase at this point. Harry Brook's added runs at the other end, as we've gone up to 12 off 19 he has, and now we're facing the spinner for the first time, but we've beaten the nin fielders with the first delivery, and it's going to run away to the boundary, is it? 4 runs off the first ball, the outcome's the same. No one's bowling outside off stump, which has very clearly been the weakness in our career. Particularly spin bowling outside off has always caused us great difficulty, but these ones are just on the stumps again, though that one we only pick out the fielder with. 8 runs from Harry Brook off the last over, and we've already got 4 in this one, and we're not far away from halfway to our total now, which really shouldn't be happening this quickly. The spinner continues around the wicket, but again bowls straight at the stumps, so we're able to flick away one to the deep square leg, and we manage to get the run up to 43. We're back an over and a half later. Harry Brook's added another 11 runs, and now we very almost are halfway there. We got 55 after that single to start the over, and we trail by just 58 at that point, and with 10 wickets in hand it's going to happen easily, whether we're here at the end or not. I think that run took us on to 30, and we've got there quickly off just 21 balls. Shouldn't be happening at this level, as we've got a new seamer coming over the wicket, and again we just hit him for 4 off the first ball, as there's only one fielder out on the leg side. He's on the infield, and if we beat him either side, he's always going to trickle away to the boundary. So that takes us on to 34, and over the halfway mark in this chase, and although they've put one deep on the boundary now, it's still very easy to get the shot away. No threat to the wicket, and it is a dot ball, as Nottinghamshire finally have some success. But even then they're not really threatening us, as we're able to get at least one here. It looks like the infielder's going to get there quick, but there is not enough cover on the leg side to keep bowling there. They've got 7 or 8 men on the offside, and have never bowled a ball outside off stump. We move on to 35 as Harry Brook's back on strike, and he gets us back at the other end quickly. Let's see if we can find more runs on the leg side. A short ball which just beats the outside edge. The first time we've been under threat in a long time, as we almost bring up the 10 over mark. James has been relatively expensive too, and we're still going at more than 6 and over, so certainly no need for panic stations yet, as we hit this one very fine to beat the inner fielder, and we're able to get 2 as the man in a deep covers round. 63 after 10 overs for Yorkshire, and only 52 more runs to go. Harry Brook's seen off another over of the spinner, adds 4 runs yet again. We're going to try and get one fine, but it drops down off the bat, and although we rush through for a quick single, there are some little warning signs coming off James bowling. And at the other end, Brook sees off the rest of the over too. He's not able to score as quickly, and now we're going to face the spinner, and again it's straight at the stumps, and although we try to hit it a bit too fine and don't connect perfectly, we're able to get through for yet another single. Brook on 28 is catching us at the other end. He's starting to become a bit more fluent. He adds another 4 in that over to take him on to 32, and although he's not scoring as quickly as us, he's certainly been as effective. Again, we're just playing to the leg side easily, and I know some people say we play the same shot quite a lot, but isn't it evident that the bowling's very static? Nothing outside off stump yet in this innings. I think just 3 deliveries have beaten the outside edge. The other 25 have all been on leg stump. The spinner's not even really tested us there, as James has got us on strike, hoping to cause a bit of trouble. It's a full ball which we can hit towards mid-wicket, but we haven't connected well, and it's just a single to the man in the deep. Just 36 to go as Brooks added one more. It's a short ball on leg stump, and again we tried to pull, but this time we got nowhere near it, and it's probably our 3rd or 4th scare of the innings. Not really big ones, none have ever looked like hitting the bat, but they have narrowly whistled past. A short ball which we can try and pull again. Our timing's a little bit early, as that was a slower one as well, and he has looked the most skilled bowler, James. He's restricted our run rate more than the others. Final ball of the over, can we find a run? Short ball again that can be pulled away. It's just going to be a single to keep us on strike. We move on to 78 without loss, and Yorkshire require just 35 more. The other subplot, of course, is that we move on to 43 now, just 7 away from another half century. If we could do it in both innings, that would be fantastic. And there's 4 of the 7 there. The 2 men were very, very tight in the infield, trying to stop a single. And in the end, we just split them with a shot, which again was perfectly bowled on leg stump. And we're able to get another easy 4, just 3 away from a half century now. Yorkshire into the 80s too, and without losing a wicket, we're really doing well. This one's on the stumps again, and we've gone for the same shot, and of course the outcome's exactly the same. They've covered deep mid-wicket after the last few overs, and as a result there's a big vacant region, as they will not commit any more fielders to the leg side. A strike rate of almost 150 at first class level, and 7 boundaries in our 51 runs. Let's take a look at the scorecard to see where we are at the moment. 14.2 overs and 86 without loss, and it shows just how well we're doing as a partnership now. With Brooks scoring at the other end, we look absolutely fantastic. I just want to see what the opening partnership was actually. We put on 79 last time, but then Root and Brook put on nearly 300 without loss, so we've certainly got something to live up to here. The spinners coming in again after 2 successive boundaries have taken us to 50, and they have not changed the field. 3 in a row and we could get there in another over at this point. Yorkshire on to 90. What a fantastic innings it's been, and hopefully that captain's having a word with the bowler to ask him what on earth he's doing. Look at the offside there. They've got 4 fielders in the circle, they've got a couple of slips and they've got a man in the deep. So much cover across the board and there is absolutely nothing on the leg side but the one man who finally stopped that ball. But every time we beat him either side, we've got a guaranteed boundary. 12 runs off 4 balls and we're rushing towards the total. Just 23 more runs needed, as we've certainly been the aggressor in this innings. We've gone to the man at deep mid-wicket there, and we've beaten him to the boundary as well. 4 more runs to make it 4 boundaries in 5 balls, and with the last ball of the over, there's no pressure at all. They've finally put some men on the infield on the leg side, so they have closed up a few of the gaps, though if it's on the stumps we can flick it for another single, and although it's not a perfect connection, it's just oh so easy. 18 more required for Yorkshire, and although we've been the dominant force in this innings, we have been outshone by a couple of teammates in the first, but we've contributed well with the bat yet again. That single at the end of the over means we're facing a new bowler though, and it's Mitch Marsh who took our wicket last time round. In the first innings he got us out, but we've started as we mean to go on this time, smashing him for 4 through the leg side, and although all of our runs are coming from that side, we're certainly realising where our strengths are, and thankfully the bowling attack's bowling to us. They're bowling it exactly where we want it, and we've got absolutely no choice but to take advantage. Short ball outside leg, this one we've edged, but it must have come off the body somewhere, as there was no claim for the catch even though it didn't bounce, so we've just about got away with a scare there. We can certainly see the difference between March and the rest. He has got a little bit more about him, Mitch Marsh, but again we've managed to get this one away, and although I think the fielder's going to catch up, it's another easy 2 runs. Yorkshire passed 100 and they need just 12 more, and we could be the hero of the second innings. The 100 partnership of course comes up, as we're yet to lose a wicket, and as we go through the over it's looking very good, as we're going to face Marsh's 4th ball. Again it's going to be at least a single, though it's beaten the inner fielder again, and although he should cut it off before the boundary, again it's going to be an easy 2 runs, and in fact on this occasion it will be 3. So 9 runs off 4 balls for us, takes the pressure off Brook at the other end, and edges us yet closer to victory. Harry Gurney, the left armer's back in over the wicket, as we require just 9 more runs now. This one's outside off, so we just defend sensibly. We want to stay unbeaten at this point, no need to take any risks. But it is good to see they're finally bowling outside off, as we come back for the second ball of the over. Although we haven't contributed with the ball too much in this innings, and in fact we've been pretty poor with the ball, as this one swings away from us again, and we really are playing with fire there. We've contributed with the bat, and it's been a really dominant display by our county, and it does bode well for the first class season, as we try and edge closer to the England Test team, something that we've wanted to do from the start. We're going to be able to get 2 runs here as well, as again there's only 1 fielder on the leg side, and although Harry Gurney's generally bowled outside off, the one time he drifts like that, there's absolutely no protection for him. So we cannot afford to bowl a bad ball, otherwise we're going to get at least 2 runs. So they've moved the man to where we just scored our 2, and completely left the region vacant. So the other area where we were standing before, we've just gone and smashed 4 off him. That means we're just trailing by 3 now, so 4 more runs required, and they've taken another fielder out of the leg side. What on earth is going on here? It's outside off, so we have to defend, but this is a really poor tactic from Nottinghamshire. Last ball of the over for Gurney. Let's see if he can keep it outside off. If he doesn't, we're going to score runs off it, and it's going to trickle away to the boundary. The fielder's desperately trying to get around, but it has gone and Yorkshire have won. A 10-wicket victory, a dominant display, and we're there unbeaten at the end, after crashing boundary after boundary. I'm not sure what we finished on the end actually. We'll come back in a moment to look at the scorecards. David Willey wins man of the match for us. 5 wickets in the first innings, but we managed to get a couple of half centuries and were top scorer in the second innings of course. We're edging closer to level 27 and we are getting close to picking up another batting ability point, the area we've most got to improve. And look at our bowling ability points there, in the minus figures for that game with a bonus, as we really had been that bad. I forgot to go and look to see what score we got in the second innings, so let me very quickly go and do that. I'm getting lost there, so let's go and see where we are. We'll be back in a moment with a scorecard. So there's the confirmation. We finished on a very quick fire, 79 off 49. A really brilliant innings in the end, ably assisted by Harry Brook as we continue to improve our average. It's actually above 100 this season. We've got the third most runs of any player, and one of those has played more games than us. The only other one above us that hasn't is Joe Root, the England captain. So it certainly shows we're doing very well. 479 runs now and an average of 119, the best of any player in the tournament. You can see we've got Middlesex coming up next, a game we'll try and play off camera, but of course it does sort of depend on the moments in the game. Like that one, it's an interesting chase. So we've got a few first class games coming up, and then the T20 tournament starts in the summer, and although there's still club fixtures along the bottom, we're not being offered the chance to play in any. We're very much established as a county player now, and I'm sure we're even edging towards England selection. We'll take a look at that in the next episode, but for now a massive thanks for watching this one. If you did enjoy it and that exciting run chase, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of our performance. Are we starting to look like an international player? Of course it's very early to be saying that. We've had good runs in the past that have ended very quickly, and then we've had a spell of poor form. With the ball I was a little bit concerned in that match, but of course it may just be a one-off. The consistency needed for first class is always going to be difficult for a part-timer, but we've got to find a way to edge that economy down, just as we have in other forms of the game. Subscribe to the channel for 3 episodes a week from this Cricket 19 career, every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. There's also daily FM19 content from our One Club story with Torquay. That's every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30, and then in a vacant slot on Saturday evening, we'll have news about FM20 over the next few weeks, including reactions to features and our plans for the game, which teams we're looking at managing, and there's also a couple of polls in there so you can shape some of the content on the channel. Finally, we're continuing our Snooker 19 career. That's every Friday at 4:30. We're in the final tournament of the story there as we go to the season-ending World Championships, hoping to get to the final and emulating Ronnie O'Sullivan. Of course, if we get out beforehand, the series will end a little earlier, so do come and find out how I'm getting on and hopefully join a brilliant run. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for some more first class action as we continue to prove we're a potential England test opener.